What's up, everyone? All right, well, here we are, Tuesday morning, and I'm gonna finish the day up over $13,000. That's a big green day, thanks to BLPH, gapping up 84% pre-market. I jumped in as soon as the bell rang with 12,000 shares, and within the first 5 minutes, I was already up $4,000. From there, I just kept trading it, lots of small base hits, and I'm sitting here now up over $13,000. So a really solid green day, one of the best green days now in I guess a week and a half, and just fantastic to see this level of momentum where we're seeing a stock surging up really, really quickly. So hopefully it is a sign of things to come tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. So as always, questions, comments, leave them down below, and we'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning. All right, everyone, so we're gonna do our midday market recap here, go over the trades from this morning. While we're doing this recap, BLPH is currently halted. It is up 181%, but halted for the first time today, going down. It is started to roll over here, coming into the afternoon, halted down at $9.65, and the resumption should be, let's see, it looks like it's a 10-minute halt going down, so resumption is going to be in about 2 minutes. So we'll be watching that on resumption at, let's see, it's going to be 2:01 and 42 seconds. At least that's what it looks like it'll be if it's a 10-minute long halt, which I think it will be. So finishing the morning up $13,043.33, which is a great day. And in fact, today I left a fair amount of money on the table because my last trades on BLPH were right around $8. And it ended up squeezing all the way up to a high of $11.98. And like I always say, every day when I'm trading, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either leaving money on the table or I'm giving back profit. And so today I left a little bit of money on the table. Looking at I'd say the 1 minute chart here on BLPH, this was where I stopped trading. It was after this squeeze here to 816. So I was done after this right here. And of course, this was at 10:42 a.m., coming up at 11. I mean, that's even further into the day than I usually would trade. It came back up. I missed this trade right here. I then had a meeting at 11:30 where we were reviewing some of the plans for our Inner Circle seminar for 2020. So I was out here until 12, then I had another meeting from 12 until 12:30. And so when I came back from that meeting, I was like, wow, this thing has made a pretty nice move. Obviously, it's consolidating up around 850, but I'm hungry, so I got to go get lunch. So I went and grabbed lunch. When I got back from lunch, I saw that it had broken out and was up here around 10. And at that point, with over 10 million shares of volume, I was happy to see the momentum, but knew that taking a trade after lunch in the afternoon, historically for me, is a recipe for disaster. And you can certainly see how even in these 1 minute candles here, it hit a high of 1166 and then dropped down to 1063. It's a $1 pullback in 1 minute. Came all the way back down here to 1050. I'm sure stopped some people out who went long, gave into FOMO, and then rips back up here to a high of 12. So here's the resumption. You can see it dipped down to 9, now up at 930. Again, there's the bottom bounce potential. Maybe you could have taken a quick trade around 9, but you just have to be careful on those. You're trading against the trend. The VWAP is right around $8. That was the level that I was watching. And today, our most powerful trade was when it broke VWAP right here, and I jumped in. That was right here on that. Oops, let me change this to my arrow. So this was the best trade of the day for me right here. Now, today started off pretty good. So let's back up a little bit and look at our gap scanner from this morning. So the gap scanner this morning, BLPH, the stock that I'm up the most on, was gapping up 84%. 84% pre-market, which is fantastic. The float is 2.26 million shares. It's got 18 million shares of volume right now. Had about 600,000 shares by around 9:30. The bell rings, and I was very bullish on it. it had a very nice pre-market pattern. It was consolidating underneath the pre-market highs. The bell rings, and I jumped in. I bought 12,000 shares. As soon as the bell rang, I bought 12,000 shares. And this pops up to about first 660, 670, and I'm taking profit at 678 and 680. It hesitates for a moment before surging up over 7. Now, in hindsight, and I'll back up this on a 10-second chart so we can kind of look at this on a really, really quick time frame. So this was the open right here. All right, so I took profit. So my entry was right here in the 40s, anticipating a break of the pre-market high, which was 645. It popped up there up to 678, and this is where I was taking some profit. That's a nice 30-cent breakout with 12,000 shares. That's $3,600, right? That's a really solid trade. So I took some profit there. It then pulls back here for a second down to 66. And remember, when you get in with large size, if you're not able to get out on the ask and you have to hit the bid and bail out, you can often get some pretty bad slippage to the downside, and it can be pretty bad. So I always like to sell into strength when I can. It pulls back here, then pops back up over 7, and I got back in here for the break of 7. Now adding back here 6,000 shares, we went from 7 up to a high of 710. I made another $800 there, right? Not a huge win, but put me up at that point about $3,900 on the day. It then is consolidating sideways. It does another quick breakout here from 710 up to a high of 736 before rolling over and then actually going red versus the open. At this point, I thought, well, you know, that might be it. And I was up around $4,000 or something like that, which generally speaking is a pretty great day. It's more than my daily goal. So, you know, I'm certainly happy with that. But, you know, I was a little bummed out that it was starting to roll over. Now, in hindsight, I could say that had I just bought my 12,000 shares here in the 45 area and held the whole thing to 7, I could have made $6,000 in one trade. However, when I was up $3,000, when it hit 78 and I didn't sell, and then it dropped down 20 cents, with 12,000 shares, I was giving up about $2,400 if I hadn't taken the profit there and then it came back down. So, you know, for me, I just always feel like the right move is to take profit as it's squeezing up. And so I took profit as it was squeezing up. Maybe I didn't fully maximize on it, but I pretty much guaranteed as soon as it broke over the pre-market high and was up 15 cents that this would be a winning trade. And I certainly wasn't going to go up 3,600 and then have it go back to break even or even go red on me. So it ends up, like I said, selling off, coming back down, you know, whatever, consolidating for a while, and then all of a sudden right here, ripping back up and breaking through the VWAP. It consolidates right here, and as it broke over 660, I took 2 trades. I took one trade right here on the break of, was it the break of 650? I think it was right around here. And the second trade right here, and that's where we got this really nice squeeze. We even got a halt going up at 739. I was holding 1,000 shares into the halt, but at this point I'd already booked some really nice profit on it. My position was down here. Let's see, where was this? That was at about 1030, 1040. So yeah, let's see. So I added at, let's see, 50 and 60. I then added again at 75, 75, adding again at 685, 689, 690. So I was up to 7,000 shares there. And that's when we got this breakthrough 7. We then got a micro pullback right here at about 7, let's see, this is about 720, and then a quick pop into the halt. On resumption, it dips down for a second. I bought the dip, and it rips up to a high of 820, and I took my profit. It then dips down again. It comes back up. I do another quick breakout trade from 8 to about 815 right here, made another $700, and then it drops here, and that's when I said, okay, I'm done for the day. I'm out. So over $10,000 is a terrific day for sure on BLPH. I'm happy with that. Could I have traded it a little bit more? Could I have potentially done a little bit better? Sure, you can always probably say that. But rather than give in to that fear of missing out and that frustration that I didn't make as much as I could have, Today, it's a lot easier to say, you know what, I'm green. I'll tell you that the days that it's harder are certainly the days where I'm red. Because when I'm red, I'll feel like, oh man, I didn't make as much as I could have, and I see other people trading and making money, and so I start to get frustrated. And those are the days where it's really easy for me to give into that frustration and end up taking a fear of missing out FOMO trade that's really, really extended, which is not a good thing to have happen. So we switch back to the 1 minute chart here, and you can see this big breakout. I'll just be glad that the stock was as strong as it was, because it's a great sign for momentum. Even if it doesn't hold the entire gain, even if it comes back down to the VWAP, the fact that it's up 170% now, it's terrific. So very happy with BLPH. TWMC was also on the watch list. It was a gapper. Let's see, TWMC. We had news on this this morning. So this was the headline here. I actually thought this was a pretty good headline. We had a little bit of pre-market consolidation right here around 5. And as it broke that level, boom, I punched it. I hit the buy button. I jumped in. Now in this one, it broke over 540, 550. It hit a high of 560. I took some profit. And then all of a sudden it flushes down. And that was a little disappointing. In fact, on the daily chart, it's actually, despite this headline, it's actually red on the daily chart. So, this is one of those times where if I had not taken profit quickly on this one, I would have definitely had a loss. And I just, I'm a little bit disappointed with the way, some of these end up really ripping up and taking off, and others just end up, totally failing. And it's hard to predict which one will do which. It really can be hard. So anyways, TWMC, I still made $1,700 on it. It was a nice break from 5 up to 560, but it didn't hold that level, which was disappointing. So let's see. And then the last one was GNPX. GNPX squeezing up right here. I just jumped on the momentum as it was popping up. My entry was at 520. It ended up hitting a high of 539, $370 of profit. Not a home run, nothing super exciting, but making a little bit of profit along the way. So that's it for today, $13,000. That puts me back to all-time highs for the month. Gosh, I must be at this point up around 60,000 on the month. Probably somewhere around 60,000, and that's a really solid month. I mean, that's not bad at all. So at this point, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days left in the month. So we're kind of coming to the second half of February, and this was a little bit of a short week, of course, with President's Day yesterday, but a few more days like this, and this is gonna, be a month to remember. And again, I'm not gonna try to obsess too much about monthly goals or anything like that. I'm setting a monthly goal in a lot of ways. It just anything more than 10 grand is fantastic. So if I make more than 10,000, that's awesome. If I have a month where I make 50 or 60,000, hey, that's sweet. But that doesn't have to be the monthly goal. So like right now, I could say I'm going to set my monthly goal at 100 grand or something like that, and then I'm going to spend the next 8 days trying to hit a home run, because I'd still have to make another $40,000. When you're thinking really big picture and about this as a career, it's not in your best interest to be so fixated on those types of goals. So anyways, leaving it here with a solid day. And the thing for me more than anything is that I can do really well on days when we have stocks like BLPH that are making big moves. These are days that I can do really well. And in fact, today I did leave a little money on the table, and I do feel a little FOMO that I didn't go back for it up here. However, doing that would have been breaking this rule of trading in the afternoon. And I'm really not supposed to do that, because I often get myself into trouble in the afternoon. Of course, this time it would have worked, probably, but maybe not. You know what I mean? I could have bought up here at 1150 and then just taking a huge loss. So hindsight's always 2020. You're always going to think I would have done so much better, but you could have done actually a lot worse. So whatever. I think I made pretty much the most that I could during the hours that I trade my best, 9:30 to about 10:30, 11. And if we see a couple more stocks like this over the next few weeks, we're going to have a nice hot streak, because this is what I need to really get some of those big green days. I need to be able to buy 10, 12,000 shares of a stock and have it rip up 30 or 40 cents. And just like that, I'm making, $6,000, $7,000, a day. But if the best we have are stocks like TWMC that pop up and fade and fail, well, that's going to be a market that's a little bit harder to make some good money in. And so that's when I'm going to be grinding on base hits. And in fact, today was a lot of base hits. None of these trades were one single home run by any means. It was a lot of base hits, but good quality base hits, 20, 30 cent base hits, not, 5 or 8 cents. All right, so that's it for me. I hope you guys have a good day. Hopefully you guys did well on BLPH. It was straight off the watch list this morning. And my first trade was down at, what was this? Was it 540 or 440? It was down here, actually it was 640, 645. So some really nice opportunities there. All right, so we'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. Hopefully another green day and another stock gapping up 60% pre-market and then ripping out of the gates. That would be awesome. So that's what I'm hoping for. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning.
Hey, did you know that I go live every single morning between 9 and 9:15 to stream my pre-market watch list? Subscribe to the channel, press the bell for the alert, and you'll get the notification.